We're almost at the end of our Reggae Month celebrations, but guess what?
There is 1 month for reggae, but every month of the year is for reggae.
Yes, reggae is all year round. I do hope you were able to join in, if not all, at least some of the daily activities that took place throughout the month.
We have a music that we have given to the world in reggae music. And it's a music that is for every season.
Line up yourself and don't be no drag. Lively up yourself. Reggae is another day, another band. Lively up yourself. Yes, I say so. I say so. Lively up yourself. I'm going down. You rock so, you rock so.
You dip so, lively up yourself. It's wonderful that you could join us inside this half-hour segment of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson and I'll be your guide. Don't go anywhere. There's much more on the flip side of this break.
A long, 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 long time. We no have no nice time. Do you? Think about that. Hey. This is my heart to rock you steady. I give you love anytime you're ready. This little heart in me just won't let me be. I'm gonna rock you now. Won't you rock with me? This a long, 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 long time.
This music changed my life. Now I'm a singer. I'm here in Jamaica to sing during Reggae Month. And yeah, this is love, hope, life, strength, power, revolution.
Reggae music can keep you on a humble vibration and a churchical type of vibration, you know.
Reggae is the heartbeat of the people. Reggae means life to me. Reggae means solace. Reggae means inspiration, motivation. Reggae means my whole life. You see how anywhere you go in the world, reggae music is being responded to. Anywhere. If you sing a Bob Marley, if you sing a Tony Rebel, if you sing a Luciana, people can respond to it regardless of the language.
Do you, yeah. Think about that.
There's an act called the Legal Deposit Act, and everything you write, everything you create, you should deposit a copy of it at the National Library under the Legal Deposit Act. So I want to use the opportunity to say to all of you musicians, the creative people, the writers in this industry, if you have not yet deposited your record, your songs, whatever you have done at the National Library, please do so. There's actually a fine if you don't. I don't know how many of you are aware of that. In the words of our theme, we come to catch the rhythm in reverence and praise. We do so realizing that while we are not totally out of the pandemic, we are nevertheless able to open up and reset the entertainment industry and cultural sector for the enhancement of the lives and livelihoods of creatives and the nation as a whole. We have seen the return of large events. This year started with Barris and Buju's concert, Intimate. We celebrated with the Tony Rebel at the 29th staging of Rebel Salute. And there is much more to come during Reggae Month. We come in the full knowledge that all that we are able to achieve is based on God's gifts of creativity and innovation. Through Him, the pioneers of our music were able to create this global energy called reggae. And reggae music has been recognized as one of the most dynamic creations of people of African descent that has fortified and brought together the aspirations of our people, both here and across the world. I want to use the opportunity to say that those that the music has created wealth for I ask them to be humble. Be humble and do not take it for granted. Because you can be wealthy tonight and be poor tomorrow. It's a gift, and we should take that gift with humility.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Now that we're officially in the Lenten season, most persons might decide to switch from their favorite meat dishes to seafood. But apart from having biblical ties to the season, fish serves as a good source of your dietary needs. Watch and learn more.
We all love our protein: chicken, beef, pork. But how often do we eat fish? Is it only at Easter time or when you're at the beach? Incorporating more fish into your diet can be very beneficial to your health. Compared to red meats and poultry, fish has far less calories and cholesterol.
It's the saturated fats and the trans fats that our bodies use to make cholesterol. And fish and seafood have very little saturated fat and trans fat. So in truth and in fact, that makes it a very healthy source of protein.
Fish also has iron, which is important for good reasoning and memory, iodine, which can prevent mental problems in children, and selenium, vitamins, and carotenoids, which are antioxidants. Who knew that we could get so many nutrients from fish? And that's not all. Incorporating fish into our diet can even reduce the chances of developing certain diseases.
Studies have in fact shown that people who have a higher intake of fish compared to other meat sources have less heart disease, they suffer from fewer mood disorders, and they have less cognitive decline with age, so less dementia.
This is due to omega-3 fatty acids, a nutrient that is only found in a few other food sources, such as walnuts and flax seeds. But oily fish, such as sardines, tuna, mackerel, salmon, and trout, are excellent sources of omega-3s and are readily available at your convenience in supermarkets. So we want to add fish into our diet. In what ways can we do this?
So escovitch fish is one of our favorites. Now the onions and the carrots and the vinegar and the pimento, that's all fine. But we don't want to do a lot of deep frying. Deep frying adds calories. Nothing like a nice steamed fish, a nice roast fish. And when you roast your fish, you can stuff it with wonderful vegetables like callaloo and so on. So we have to find other ways. Many of us have broilers as a part of our stove and we've never utilized it. We don't know how it's used. And that gives us, I think, the closest taste to fried without adding a lot of oil.
So we've got different styles of cooking the fish, but what about flavor? Jamaicans love adding salt, but fish is already salty. Wouldn't that be too much sodium?
If we utilize other things like lime and lemon juice and or fresh seasonings or scotch bonnet pepper or onions or scallion, we can make our fish flavorful without adding a lot of extra sodium.
That sounds really tasty, but watch out for bones. Make sure to debone fish before giving your children. Even if the fish is bought deboned, check for fine bones with your fingers. If you're not careful, you could end up with a medical emergency. The recommended serving size per week is only 8 to 9 ounces of fish, or 2 to 3 servings per week. With an array of health benefits and a variety of ways to cook it, don't miss out on this lifestyle choice. Make a positive impact on your health by adding more fish to your diet.
Concerned about uncollected garbage at home? Do you see garbage piling up on the streets? Then report it. Use the National Solid Waste Management Authority's mobile app to report instances of littering, illegal dumping, and uncollected garbage. From anywhere and at any time, be an environment warden by informing the authority of unsightly solid waste. You will be notified when your report has been received by the NSWMA, as well as when the matter is resolved. Download the app from the iOS or Android app stores by typing in NSWMA. Play your part, as Jamaica's beauty is everybody's duty.
Did you know that poor waste management contributes to air pollution, soil and water contamination, and directly affects many ecosystems and species? Well, now you know. So let's learn how to manage waste like a pro.
Every single day, every living thing creates waste. What's waste? It's any substance that we discard of or throw out after it has served its primary purpose. For example, after having the water in this bottle, I no longer need it, so the bottle becomes waste. Here in Jamaica, we create an average of over 8,000 tons of solid waste per day.
We, from time to time, do what we call garbage characterization survey. This is where we actually go island-wide and take samples of the garbage and look at what makes up the garbage, what's the composition of the garbage.
Regardless of what makes up your garbage, if you don't dispose of them correctly, we'll contribute to air and water pollution, flooding and diseases while influencing climate change. That's why today we'll look at the different types of waste and the best ways to dispose of them. Well, lunch was good. Sorry you missed it, but I want to point out how much waste I created from just 30 minutes of eating. I have this empty water bottle, well, almost empty, a lunch box. I have napkins, a fork, and I have some leftovers. So far, I've created organic, recyclable, and solid waste. Other types of waste include hazardous and liquid. Let's go ahead and break them down while looking on how to dispose of each. Let's start with organic waste. Organic waste is any material that is biodegradable and comes from either a plant or an animal. Examples include paper, leftover food, leaves, branches, and livestock manure. Over time, organic waste eventually breaks down into fertilizer, but not if it goes to the landfill. That's not good. There it will produce methane, and high levels of methane can reduce the amount of oxygen in the air, which will affect our breathing. So, where should it go? Organic waste shouldn't go into your bin. Take it round a back and start a composting heap.
We believe that composting provides an excellent opportunity.
Composting is rather simple. Cut the bottom from a container and place it directly on the ground in a cool or shaded location in your backyard.
First, we start with some grass from the lawn. I have some cardboard that I bought some things at the store and I got. This is cardboard. So I just cut it up and I throw it in.
Then add wood chips, fruits and vegetable waste, and animal waste from your cows or goats.
You need moisture, you need air.
Keep your compost moist and stir it regularly.
More.
We would produce the best soil nutrients for our flower beds, our farms, our little kitchen gardens. We will then be cutting back on expense in buying fertilizer.
Liquid waste includes fluids such as domestic wastewater, sewage, processed water, grease, or other liquids. Wastewater from doing the dishes, laundry, and showering are considered grey water and can be used in your garden. Hazardous waste can be liquid or solid. It includes all types of rubbish that are flammable, toxic, corrosive, and reactive. First things first, don't throw hazardous waste, whether liquid or solid, in your bin. Follow the labels on hazardous products for disposal instructions and buy the exact amount that you need. So if you use all of it, you really don't have any waste. You can flush some hazardous household wastes followed by plenty of water. This only applies though to hazardous household waste that can be neutralized by water. And when in doubt, reach out to the NSWMA. Solid waste is any tangible item that has already served its primary purpose and is discarded by individuals. This type of waste is commonly broken down into plastic, paper, metals, tins, ceramics, and glass. The good news is that most of the solid waste we create are recyclable and compostable. That's another reason it's important to separate your garbage. This way, you can create a compost heap with your solid organic waste and recycle bottles, furniture, and other solid waste. For those in terrible condition, drop them in your Jomadi gates and the NSWMA will be there on the double for them. And if you don't have a drum, the NSWMA will provide one under its Jomadi Gate initiative.
So we are issuing you with your own drums, so you have control over your receptacles, don't it? So your garbage don't have to be littered all over the place.
Recyclable waste refers to all the items we can convert into products that are useful. These include my water bottle, solid items such as paper, metals, furniture, and organic waste. Well, you don't really dispose of recyclable waste. At least, you shouldn't. Reusing or upscaling is the way to go. We're all responsible for the waste we create, and by separating them and practicing proper waste disposal, we'll create a beautiful, safe, and healthy environment, doing our part to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Rising temperatures, intense rainfall, increasing drought. To sum it all up, climate change. Learn more from this next feature.
Spectacular views of the Blue Mountains, the cradle for the Wadwater River watershed, one of Jamaica's 26 watersheds, and the source of 40% of the water for the Kingston metropolitan area. Fresh water rolls from these hills to the valley, supplying one of Jamaica's longest rivers, the White River, flowing for 27 kilometers past bamboo groves and lush vegetation, crossing the boundary lines of the northeastern parishes of St. Anne and St. Mary to empty into the Ocho Fish Sanctuary and into the Caribbean Sea. A Jamaican path from hills to ocean. This is a story of a remarkable project to increase Jamaica's resilience to climate change by sustaining our watersheds, our coastlines, our land and marine resources, while empowering more Jamaicans with the required knowledge and awareness to secure their livelihoods in these spaces. The Hills to Ocean project is funded by the European Union Global Climate Change Alliance Plus in partnership with the Government of Jamaica to the tune of €6 million over 5 years. The project will implement integrated and sustainable landscape and coastal management interventions to tackle the thorny challenges of declining ecosystems, biodiversity loss, land degradation, and the vagaries of climate change affecting vulnerable communities in Jamaica.
The project intends to stop erosion in selected watersheds to reduce degradation of important terrestrial habitats, sedimentation of the marine space, loss of soil productivity, and pollution of the rivers and streams for improper waste management. The restorative activities are therefore designed towards building climate resilience and transforming managing capabilities within affected ecosystems and communities.
In the lower reaches of the watershed, the flow of the Wagwater River has slowed to a trickle in parts of the picturesque Castleton Botanical Gardens. For Oswald Eyre, a longtime resident of the Wagwater Valley and president of a local NGO working with 17 communities, the Hills to Ocean project is a welcomed addition to the ongoing efforts to restore the watershed.
These are two big resources, Castleton Gardens and the Wagwater and its tributaries. In the early days, the Wagwater was most important for fishing, for recreation, for training everybody on the banks of the Wagwater, some 17 to 18,000 persons. By age 10 or so, they will be able to swim. There was a section of the river that we call Deep Hole, very deep, and it retained water. And when rainfall is low, those deep holes will gradually feed the stream with water. And by the time they are exhausted, rain would come again and refill them. All that is gone today.
The Hills to Ocean project will directly benefit Castleton Gardens and many other communities and residents who make their livelihood from key economic sectors like agriculture and tourism. There are 3 targeted watershed management units under the project: the Wagwater WMU, including Castleton Gardens, the Rio Nuevo WMU in St. Mary, and the Rio Bueno White River WMU in St. Anne and Trelawney. The project will also focus on wetland ecosystems at Winds Morass on the coast of Falmouth, Trelawney, and farther inland at the Mason River Protected Area at the border of St. Anne and Clarendon, a Ramsar site known for its rich biodiversity. The Hills to Ocean project will also assess the health and distribution of seagrass beds in the Ocho-Rios Marine Park Protected Area and at the Helsha Bay and Half Moon Bay Portland Bight Protected Area in St. Catherine and Clarendon. From hills to ocean, the downstream effect of pollution and indiscriminate dumping of solid waste in the White River pose real threats and challenges for Ocho-Rios, once a sleepy fishing village, now a bustling town with vibrant tourism and other commercial interests, and the community of fishermen who were there from the beginning. Belinda Collier-Morrow, a diver and chair of the White River Marine Association, which has partnered with the fishermen in the area to run the Ocho-Rios Fish Sanctuary, remembers a time when the coral reefs were healthy and the fish were in abundance.
This project will definitely help us because we're totally aligned with what this project is doing. When people clear the lands, that's also coming into the river and smothering and getting out to sea, smothering the corals. And you see the river turns brown. You can see it goes for miles out to sea when we've had a big rain. So this project will work to address things like that. Better farming practices that will affect the river. That will in turn affect what we're doing out there.
I think the Hills to Ocean is a great platform for us to really get information about how serious this is, because we as the White River Fish Sanctuary, as a local community-based group, you know, we can only do so much.
Working in the sanctuary, it's an eye-opening, for it teaches us to care, you know, the bad habits and, you know, the do and the don'ts, you know.
If people have an understanding of what their actions do and why it matters, I think that is what is going to make a difference.
The Planning Institute of Jamaica is the executing agency of this high-level Hills to Ocean project. A core project management unit collaborates and coordinates daily with technical experts from the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, and the Public Gardens Division, and from NEPA, the National Environment and Planning Agency.
The implementation of this project is a direct investment in data collection and research and will strengthen the technical capacity of the National Environment and Planning Agency, ultimately bolstering its monitoring and early warning capabilities. Together, let us join hands and hearts to manage and protect Jamaica's land, wood, air, and water.
Given the new national campaign by the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries to grow smart and eat smart, we look forward to the new possibilities presented under this project to teach new techniques, build resilience, and strengthen our island nation. RADA aims through the promotion of integrated and sustainable land management practices as well as direct transfer of knowledge to achieve these goals.
The Hills to Ocean project was developed through partnership and collaboration. The direct project beneficiaries are members of the communities in the 3 named WMUs, but the entire Jamaican population will benefit from its outcomes. The PIOJ looks forward to continued collaboration with residents, the European Union, and state partners in making this project a success.
We value and appreciate the cooperation with Jamaica regarding this project, as it will allow us to further progress on the joint fight on climate change. Jamaica has proven to be a pioneer in the region regarding the subject, and we are very happy to see that actions are taking place every day to improve the life of Jamaicans, as well as of all those sharing this planet, since climate change doesn't stop at national borders.
One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Hear the children crying. One love. Hear the children crying. One heart. Singing, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Hey, let's get together and feel alright. Hey. Let them men pass all their dirty romance. There is one question I really love to ask. Is there a place for the hopeless sinners who have hurt all mankind just to save his own belief it? One, what about your one heart? What about let's get together and feel alright?
We're signing out for today, but not to worry. You can rewatch today's offering or other content like this by visiting our website, jis.gov.jm. Do join us again tomorrow on the same station as we bring another informative, educational, and entertaining package of Jamaica Magazine.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.